Hey, welcome back. This is my girlfriend Ellie, and we're going to talk about guys don't want to be talked to like that. So, hey, welcome back, guys. It's Vince Del Monte, vincedelmontefitness.com. That's how I used to start all my videos back in the day. And in this video, we're going to give you 3 tips on how to build bigger biceps. we're actually going to talk about how men of God, how Christian men can meet a godly woman through discipline. And we're going to share our story. It was the #1 question we got when we put up a video on Instagram about how we've been on a path of purity. Now over 210 days as of today. We posted that at 175 days. It got 350,000 views, and everyone was just asking us, how did you meet? How did you meet? I think it was mostly girls who wanted to know. So in this video is more geared to men on how to attract, how to find, how to become a type of man who attracts a godly woman. I think the very first thing is I would have never met Ellie if I didn't hang on to my dream home. In February of 2023, I got confirmation. I heard an audible voice at Church of the City during the worship service, and I heard God say to me, hang on to the home. And I said right away, why? And he said, you'll see. And that was February 2023. Financially, it didn't make sense to hang on to the home because we were just bleeding so much money every single month. The reason this required discipline, we should define discipline. Have I shared with you my definition of discipline, which I've most likely stolen from somebody? But discipline is deciding between what you want now and what you want most. And what I really wanted after, my life kind of hit rock bottom, not kind of, it did hit rock bottom, is I wanted to be in God's will. And I truly heard God say that. So I wanted to start allowing God to carry the weight. So what I wanted, though, was just to offload. I just wanted relief, financial relief. I didn't want this stress. And if I didn't have the home, what happened was when I got down here in August of 2025, I discovered your Instagram account on my Explore page, and you were in the car sharing some very wisely advice to ladies, probably on relationships as well. And you were in your stories talking about looking for a house to use for an upcoming Christian event. And I started to do a little friendly stalking. Wanted to see, who is this girl? What does she do? Who's she, friends with? And I noticed she was friends with another girl, her roommate and her business partner, who was friends with a buddy of mine. And I reached out to them and I said, I have a house. And what I didn't share was when I got down to Tennessee in August, I got clear confirmation, stay in this house. Like the house was up for sale, but it was like, have faith, something's going to happen. And I got this fresh fire to keep the house and just use the house to serve others. And then you came into the picture. You want to just maybe add some stuff? I mean, it's pretty much that, right? Maybe throw it in. And this video is for men, but I think it'd be good just to throw in a quick insight for even maybe ladies watching this and how it was timely for you as well.
Women, especially when they get into their 30s, they really start craving marriage, especially if you feel like part of your assignment is rooted in marriage ministry in the future. So they start really craving marriage, and they start like obsessing over it. Like, when is this going to happen? And they don't even want to start their life. Like their life cannot start until they meet this person, because a woman deeply desires to be a wife and sometimes a mom. And so she's waiting to start her life until this man comes. But the problem with that is that even though God gives us the desire, the enemy was perverting. He was using it against me. He was making me feel lonely and grief and scarcity, like there's no good guys out there, and it was all consuming. And so the Lord had told me, you've done a lot to like prepare to be a wife. You've done a lot to try to meet this man, but you've never done the one thing that I've asked you, which is to fast from the idol of marriage completely. So I took 90 days. It wasn't a food fast. It was 90 days of fasting from fantasy, from looking, from trying to be in certain places. I went full on for the Lord. I was like, every time I'm going to have this desire, I'm going to run after the Lord. I'm going to get even more involved in church. I'm going to even more involved in reading the Bible. And so then when I met Vince, I was still in my fast. So actually,
She wasn't looking at me.
I wasn't even.
She didn't even give me an up and down, guys. I didn't even get a double take.
I did not see him.
I gave her a double take. She didn't even get a double. I didn't even get a double take.
Yeah. So Him and I met August, I think 6th or 7th, and my fast wasn't over until August 28th. So basically, God was very generous in what He delivered, but it did require me to be disciplined. Not just in there. There's a ton of things I had to be disciplined in, but that was probably the biggest one: is sacrifice. What am I willing to put on the altar?
Hmm. So probably, I mean, maybe guys could do that as well. I mean, but that's really cool. So the second thing that I did was I created a vision of my future wife. And I think mentally, a lot of guys have kind of a checklist. And what I did during my separation was I have like a whole full-blown section in my journal. I haven't even told you this or shared this with you, but I have 10 things that were like, there was like my non-negotiables, and then there were kind of like some bonus things. Just kind of like perks, you know. And yeah, she over exceeded my expectations. She's over exceeded my expectations. So, but I had a vision. That's the point. Because, you know, even when I was separated, you know, hope you don't mind me sharing this, but like, you know, there was other women, but they weren't they didn't meet the list. So I had a vision. A vision is your preferred future. It's your preferred future. So I think just having clarity on not what I needed, but what I wanted. I even listed things on like wants. And I think just being bold was a really neat thing, and that required then discipline, not to like settle when you meet some, hey, they're filling some of my needs and want, but it wasn't the full deal. So that requires discipline, not settling. I think that was the second one. I have one more, and the third one I think is just like positioning yourself, like putting yourself in the right rooms, if you will. This is kind of against what you were saying, like you kind of fasted from like going into the right rooms and that. But for me, I never really was intentional about getting around Christians. So I thought, hey, she had a Bible study, her and her roommate, on Monday night. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go check out this Bible study. This is where we became friends. I just got to see her in her environment, leading and praying and serving, being prayed over. I saw her humility. We had a lot of walks. It just like, you know, small talk, but you could definitely tell there was something there. She wasn't giving anything off, not much. I was like, come on, give me something.
Throw me a bone here.
But so I also found that very intriguing, but that's a different video. Just that she was so disconnected in her purpose and her mission. So I think the discipline to, not take shortcuts, like jump on apps, you know, go to the bar, you know, like talk to girls in the gym. It was like, hey, let's position myself to meet someone who would likely have these character traits. I think those would be the 3 simple things. I don't think those are like too fancy, too crazy, but definitely different.
I think the way that men meet women and is a lot different than the way that women meet men, and I think it goes back to the fall, the original fall. So women have a tendency to control. So we actually will overdo on the list. The advice that people give us is like, scale back on the list, because our list is like crazy. And you know, in the fall with Adam, it was passivity. So I think everything that you're sharing is so good for men, because it's actually like, hey, pursue, seek what you want, position yourself. And that's very masculine, and it's a bit different for women, because they overarch on pursuing, which actually gets them into trouble, because when a woman pursues a man, she ends up attracting a passive man. And
interesting. She's so smart. By the way, go follow her account. Men, tell your ladies if they're looking for relationship advice. Yeah. Ellie
men don't follow me, just the women.
Men don't need to follow her. But I think that's it. Hey guys, I hope that was helpful for you. Just sharing our story with you. If you are looking for a community of men, a brotherhood of men, there's a link below to get my 6-part mini course called the Bedrock Blueprint, which helps you become a man of discipline, consistency, a man that respects himself. And that comes from being honest every day, showing up, and following through on what you say you're going to do. So I've got a 6-part mini course. If you want to grab that, it's free. And if you guys got any questions on us doing follow-up videos, let us know in the comments below. If this was helpful, share this video with a friend. And until next time, ciao, ciao. Level up or level off.